Good morning, good morning. It is PCT day number 18. Again, it's super early. Woke up at 4 again, although I laid in bed for 15 minutes before moving. So started hiking at 5 again. But now we're on pretty easy grade, and today should be a pretty easy day. I'm hoping to get, if possible, all the way to Big Bear. The first exit to Big Bear, and there's a campsite there, so I think I'm gonna camp there. And then tomorrow, I can go to town. So I'm really excited. I honestly thought Big Bear would take me 5 days, so I got 5 days worth of food in cabazon. This is day, start of day 2.5, because I only had half a day out of cabazon yesterday, and then today is the morning of the second full day, and I should make it to Big Bear either early tomorrow morning or a little later in the afternoon, depends on how far I can get today. But shaping up to be a pretty beautiful day, although we're about to get into a heat wave, so not prepared for that. Yesterday was pretty hot, so. So this morning started out really good, and then it just, something just happened. So there was Coon Cabin, I think is what it's called. They have picnic tables and a pit toilet, and there's no sign in front saying that it's like reserved or it's private. There's a in front it says the cabins are reserved and private, but it says nothing about the picnic area, and there's no signage. And so I figured it's like, I just went, there was almost nobody there at the time when I walked up, and I just sat on a picnic table to eat breakfast. And then all of a sudden I hear this lady yelling at me and sicking her dog on me. This big German Shepherd husky kind of dog, and it's just yelling at me and cursing at me, being like, I paid $120 fucking for this. Like, get off, or what? You have no right to be here. Like, I know you're a PCT hiker, you feel entitled and shit like that. And it just, I'm just so shaken. And she walked me walk up, and she couldn't have just said, hey, this is private property, could you please leave? I would have left. Her husband, though, was super nice, and he apologized and grabbed the dog before the dog could attack me, but I'm just really shaken. Well, made it to 250. Woo! Trying to make the most of this morning. I just, mentally I was in it this morning, and after my encounter with that lady and her dog, I'm not there. All I want right now is to be in Big Bear already with a salad and a cheeseburger. Yeah. But I've gone, how many miles? 10.3 miles now. Another 15 more to go-ish. We'll see if I do that all today. Only have like 1,000 more up, but like 3,000 down. And I don't know, just mentally not in it right now. I might break my rule of not listening to anything until afternoon and listen to a book or music or something. Because if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna go mad thinking about that encounter and replaying it over and over in my head. Or I might just cry again. This morning was such a good morning, and I know I shouldn't let it ruin my whole day, but it's kind of too late. That's the first rude person I've ever met on trail. Every single hiker I've met has been the friendliest. Everyday hiker, super friendly. Everyone I meet in town has been absolute gems. This is the first time anyone has been rude or mean or anything since I've been on the PCT. And I just frustrates me that some people don't have the common decency to just, say, oh, by the way, this is actually private camping area. Even the picnic tables are ours, so you can't just sit there. Could you please leave? Like, when I first walked in to that area, first off, I didn't know that it was private. There was no signage. And then second, she just goes, "Good morning." And I go, "Good morning." And I walk over and I sit down. And then I'm on my phone. And then all of a sudden, one of her dogs barks. I look up and her daughter is holding the leash and waves at me. I wave back. And I look down. And then the lady says something to her husband. And then I look up for a brief second. And all of a sudden she starts yelling at me for staring at her and being on their private camping area, and the audacity of the PCT hiker to come into a private picnic area and sit down. She's like, "I don't care if you've walked 1,000 miles, you can't sit down at a campsite and stare at me, especially when I paid $120 for it." I'm just like, "Jeez, lady." And I just go, "Oh, I wish you would have told me that it was private before I sat down. I didn't know. Let me just grab my things and I'll leave." And then she was like, "Well, that doesn't excuse you from staring at me." And I'm like, "I didn't stare at you, miss. I was looking at my phone like the whole time trying to figure out like where I was going next, And anyway, it's just why? And then of course she sicks her dog on me. She's like, "You're not getting out of here fast enough." And then just sicks her dog at me. And it was a big German Shepherd something husky mix. I don't know. But I just don't understand people who can't be courteous and kind. Like, if she would have been nice enough to just say, "Oh, you can't, be here," I would have left it at that. But what's worse is she stuck the dog on me right as I was packing everything up and getting out of there. I literally just sat down to look at what's next and eat breakfast. That's all I wanted to do. And the other thing that really irks me is they had 4 giant picnic tables. And they had their stuff on the one I wasn't sitting on. And I don't know. The man was nice though, her, I think, husband. He kind of apologized as I ran off, but I don't know. Anyway, turn this off. It's been going long enough. Okay, so I figured I would share an update of the day. It is around 2:20 and I'm almost at 18 miles for the day already. I got 15 miles by noon, and then I had a wonderful lunch spot. I stayed there for about an hour actually, a little longer than I planned, but it was wonderful. And I still have plenty of time. I only have about 9-ish miles left to the campsite I want to stay at. But if I don't get there, I don't get there. But it's been a glorious afternoon. A little warm, but these trees that I've been walking through have provided some shade. And we just went by a stream. That's more like a trickle, but enough to get more water and take my buff and run it under and cool down a bit. I've also been running into some wonderful hikers. I ran into one hiker that I actually met 3 nights ago, and it was great to catch up with him again. It's always good talking to the new hikers and the old hikers that I've known before. And I just wanted to share a pretty part of my day, because I do tend to share a lot of the gritty, but there's quite a lot of pretty. The views, the smells. Right now we're walking through pine right now, so I'm smelling wonderful pine. My foot that was bothering me earlier today is actually feeling really good right now, probably because of the pine forest trail bedding. That's helped a lot. And also, I have only about, I want to say 600 to 900 more feet of gain, and about 1,000 feet of loss in this next 9 miles, which is pretty easy. So it's graded at around 200 feet per mile, which is perfect. It's like the most optimal cruisy level. I think that would have been the only reason I got this far this early in the day, and why I'm planning to do around 26 miles today, is because I knew the elevation would allow it. But anyway, it's just been from that one bad thing in today. My day has turned around. I have a room waiting for me in Big Bear tomorrow night. And just all in all, the day has turned into a really good day. And you know, I wouldn't wish to be anywhere else. One thing I was nervous about when I first started trail again was just the fact that I knew so many hikers, and then I was gone for 2 weeks, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to meet new hikers. I wouldn't fit in. They'd already have like their trail families, which most of them do, but they've just been all so welcoming and nice. And genuinely, I think hikers are some of the best people I've ever met. They're so nice and caring. And the amount of times, like, I was sitting with my knees up on my pack for lunch to elevate my legs, the amount of times people walked by and I'm like, are you okay? Is there anything you need? Do you need help? And it's just like, they don't know me, and yet they're genuinely there. They barely have enough stuff for themselves, and yet they're like, do you need more water? And it's just like, I don't know, it just makes me smile, and like makes me realize how much I love this trail and how much I'm enjoying this hike. And I have to say, doing 1,000 miles in less than a week has been amazing. It's just this feeling of gratitude and just overwhelming joy. Has it been hard? Hell yes. But has it been worth it? Absolutely. I wouldn't change this for the world. It's been amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna start focusing more on hiking. So yeah, we'll see you further down the trail. Okay, so I might be a little crazy. So according to my Garmin, I've hiked 26.5 miles. And according to PCT mileage, I've hiked 25.9 miles. However, and I made it to the campsite I wanted to. I decided last minute I feel good enough. I'm gonna go 3 more miles-ish. Hardly any up and hardly any down. And I'm gonna tomorrow hike 6 more miles after that. And then I'm gonna, I think it's 6.6 technically. And then I'm gonna take the second exit into Big Bear. But that's mainly because there's still a lot of daylight left today. And if I can knock that 10 more miles out before going into Big Bear, that means like 10 less miles that I carry a heavy pack and 10 less miles of the next food carry, because I have enough food, and so yeah, I might be a little insane, but woo! Here's to almost 30 miles in one day. I think PCT mileage, it will be 9, but or 27, 29, roughly in there. So we'll see. Anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. You want to know what gives a hiker joy? Is walking and walking and walking, and then getting to see that the sign saying it is almost over and camp is not far. Oh, beauty. Okay. I'll set up my tent and then figure out the rest later. Okay, so today's day of the week is Friday, and the special part of Friday is that it's Feature Friday. And for Feature Friday, I wanted to feature my Garmin InReach. And honestly, I really like it. It helps me know mileage without having to pull my phone out all the time. It makes sure my family has tracking of every 30 minutes of where I am. So in case of emergencies, they know around where I am. It's an SOS button in case I'm an emergency that I have to call in. And it also tells me the time, how long I've been hiking. It can tell me the weather. And one of my favorite features is it can communicate with people. Depends on what plan you have. I have the unlimited plan, which makes it so that I can unlimit text. So especially if I'm about to get into town and I need to know certain things, or I need to get a room booked, I can just, and I don't have service, I can just send a quick Garmin InReach text to TP or Mission Control and they'll get me a room. My favorite thing is my dad, Mission Control. He'll just randomly throughout the day, he'll just send me like, you're amazing, you're doing great. And I don't think you realize how much of a mental booster that is. One of my favorite things to do is when I do have services, I look at my Facebook group for the PCT that has all my family, friends, people that I actually know. And they're like, you're doing amazing, you're doing great. Because sometimes it doesn't feel like that out on trail. And so to hear that, it's a huge mental boost. So yeah, I definitely have to say the Garmin InReach definitely wins today's feature. Okay, so today is PCT day number 18. I am at mile 168.6 and I hiked 28
8.7 PCT miles today, with an extra 0.5 to make it to 29.2 miles today. That's insane. My pretty for today would definitely be being able to talk to my family. That really boosted my mentality today. And you know, it was a pretty good day, except for my gritty, which I filmed. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but my gritty was definitely getting chased down by that dog. And that lady, that just was awful. So, there's no way to top that. Yeah, I've learned today that mentality is everything when it comes to hiking. If you have a bad mentality, or if you can't stop thinking about something, you slow down. If you have a good mentality, you speed up. So that's huge. I gotta go faster because I can't sit like this much longer. My legs hurt. Let's see. I have not done a sketch of the day today. I might do one. If I did one, it'll be here. But I did take a foot picture, so here's the foot picture. And tomorrow I go to bed. I'm so excited. But I have to put down the light or to do my next thing. So I love you. You can't even see it. I love you. Rock on to my family. And with that, I will see you on the trail.